Celebrating 30 years of phenomenal trend forecasting, 5 times a week, Monday through Friday. Here's Gerald Celente with today's trends in the news.
Hi, this is Gerald Celente. It's Tuesday, November 20th, 2018, and here are some of today's trends in the news. Not a good day on the market front. Over there in Asia, stocks are down 1 and 2%. Over there in Europe, down on average over 1%. Here in the States, Dow down 2.21%, NASDAQ down 1.7%. West Texas, crude down 6.7%. Crude oil down 6.56%. Bitcoin down 11.46%. Gold's down just a 0.20%. These are terrible numbers. This is real bad stuff. This isn't just a blip. Not with these kind of falls. And when you take a look at crude oil, a month ago, back in October, this stuff was selling for $86 a barrel. And now it's 62. Take a look at the S&P 500. You remember 2 days before the markets peaked, we sent out a trend alert. Beware of an economic 9/11. 2 days before it peaked a month ago and 1 day, September 21st. Now the S&P 500 is down 10%. That means correction territory. And when you look at about 40% of the S&P 500 stocks, they're down over 20%. Bear territory. So, what's going on? Hey, they're not talking about trade wars or tariffs, are they? Nope, they're talking mostly about interest rates. Rising interest rates and the markets can't take it, plus a global slowdown. Dow plunges more than 500 points, erases gains for 2018. Yep, turned negative for the year as decline in Target, that's a retailer, shares plunged and pressured retailers, while the most popular tech shares dropped again. Target fell over 10%. What is that telling you? Retail sales aren't strong. Nothing, and by the way, in any of this reporting today, not a peep about real estate sales and what these higher interest rates are doing. So, you think they're going to bring in a plunge protection team to save the day before Thanksgiving? You never know. The major indexes were also under pressure as steep losses in crude pushed down the energy sector. Think about it. We've been reporting about it. When energy prices were going up, that was a big sector driving the market up. Now that's a sector pushing it down. And why is oil prices going down? You know the story. There's two of them. Number one, cutting Iran's oil sales to zero didn't happen. Trump made a deal with several other countries, allowing them to buy Iranian oil. Number two, a global slowdown. More supply than demand. Can this be reversed? Well, I'm not a betting man, but I would bet there's going to be production cuts big time coming out of OPEC, Russia, and other nations. And gold prices, I would have thought they would have gone up today, but they didn't. Gold eases within tight range. You know why? As dollar firms. That's right. All this talk about another reserve currency pushing the dollar away, and I've been saying that's not going to happen. Considering what's going on right now on the global scale, what are you going to do? Buy some yuan? No, they're only down, 6-year low against the dollar. How about that Euro. Oh, yeah, that's a great bet. Yeah, take that yuan. Yeah, it keeps getting lower against the dollar. The euro, it's a great buy. Yep, one lousy currency after another because there's one lousy economy after another. And whew, those cryptocurrencies. Special trend alert. Your special trend alert. As warned, crypto's crashing. How far? How deep? And, of course, the person responsible for making these calls, and you go back to your July, August, September, October, and soon in your November Trends journals, we have Jonathan Cho saying where this was going to go and the whys. And in reporting what we did today, we have a slight little error that I want to clear up. Mr. Cho has made it clear that it is not the end of all cryptocurrencies going down lower and some of them vanishing. It's unbacked cryptocurrencies, not cryptocurrencies in general. So some of them will go up, but the unbacked ones, he's backing away from. U.S. junk bond sell-off and rise in cost of default cover fuels corporate debt worries. Oh, that's in today's Financial Times. Corporate debt worries, huh? The move reflects alarm over the effect of rising U.S. interest rates on corporate credit markets, where companies have binged on cheap debt. Binged? That's one way of saying it, man. Got shot up with it, too. That's all it is. Monetary methadone. One big scam. And you can see where it's heading to. The U.S. corporate bond market has swelled to more than $9 trillion from $5.5 trillion in 2008. 2008, panic of '08. Yep. India's central banks gives ground to Modi. India's central bank is giving ground to government pressure and agreed to reassess its management of reserves and treatment of troubled banks. As Prime Minister Modi seeks to reinvigorate the economy ahead of general elections. Remember, we've been reporting on this, the back and forth of the pressure. And look like the government is winning and the central banksters are losing. Which brings us back to the equity markets. What can temporarily save the day? And I've been saying this for a while. The pressure on Powell, the United States Federal Reserve Chairman, not to raise interest rates aggressively. The world can't take it. And you can see how the central bankers take it when pressure's put upon them. So that will temporarily give a relief. And the markets will grow again. Things will seem to stabilize until that high wears off for the next time. So we'll see where that goes. Support for Eurozone budget plan grows. Franco-German proposal aims to boost currency bloc's crisis-fighting power. France and Germany have vowed to press ahead with plans for a common Eurozone budget after a number of governments indicated they were prepared to work on a blueprint drawn up, blah, 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 blah. Two countries are saying what the rest of the Eurozone should do. And as Paolo Savona, who was going to be the finance chairman when Cinque Stelle and Lega joined back in March after the elections, around April when they got together in May, and then they didn't want him in there, he said, all the rest of Europe is merely a colony of Germany. Are they going to obey the Franco-German two-state solution for one state of Europe? Italy's welfare gamble angers Brussels and worries businesses. While other large European economies have recovered from the financial crisis, Italy's gross domestic product remains stubbornly below where it was in 2007. So, you think they're going to cut a deal? I'm talking about cutting deals. Reefer, money, madness, and more about it coming up in your November Trends Journal, which you'll be getting shortly. Lamont to press for legalizing pot, with recreational marijuana sales beginning in neighboring Massachusetts. Connecticut's governor-elect says he continues to support legalization in the state. This is just the beginning. It's global, and it's going to keep growing. And so, too, are those pot stocks. And what else do we have here? Nissan moves to oust Goshen as former savior is brought down. Long-serving boss arrested. Accused him of misleading investors about the size of his salary and misusing company assets for personal gain. And what did I read yesterday? What was going on in Bolivia? Or was it Ethiopia? No, I think maybe it was any other country around. Poland, one after another. One scandal after another. Ex-Peru president seeks Uruguay asylum following travel ban. Alan Garcia seeks asylum hours after being barred from leaving the country pending a corruption probe. Immorality rules the day. Rising European nationalism put to test in Swiss referendum. Yep. Outside a station in a small town, blah, 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 blah. Law professor urges passersby to vote yes on Sunday's referendum on self-determination for Switzerland. How dare they want to self-determinate themselves? Nationalism's bad. Little Catson Macron, who's like got about a 15% approval rate over there in France, or 20%, or nothing, says nationalism is bad. You should not hold on to your identity. You should become whitewashed. Or it can't be racist about it. Pick the nation. Africa, you could be blackwashed. All one, all one. Like those new line of clothes they come up with now for children. Yeah. Gender equal. Doesn't look girl, doesn't look boy. Yep. Just be neutral and be nothing. And what else do we have here? Migrants refuse to get off cargo ship. Dozens of migrants are engaged in a standoff with Libyan officials, refusing for more than a week to disembark from a cargo ship that rescued them at sea because they fear torture at the hands of Libyan authorities. And where are they from? South Sudan, Somalia, Pakistan, Ethiopia, Somalia, Libya. Hey, when Gaddafi was in there, this wasn't happening, was it? No. But thanks, you lovely Democrats who love your murderer Obama, thank him for that. Oh, and France with Sarkozy. And I forgot Cameron of the UK. Oh, but if only women's were in charge. I forgot about Samantha Power, Susan Rice, Hillary Clinton. We came, we saw, he died. Hee, as she said when they asked how she felt when she heard Muammar Gaddafi was murdered. And these are the results. But we won't talk about them because it has to do with war. and you can't speak a word about war or a peep about peace in America. Let's talk about identity politics. Yes, that's much more important. And we'll be hypocritical about it too, because we won't talk about mass murder by the exceptionals. This is Gerald Celente, and that's some of today's trends in the news.